So for challenge 14, it's basically an advanced coloring exercise. And I want you to go through a couple of different, you can make different artboards, but also use a couple of different coloring tools for this. So I opened up a sample student piece just so you can kind of see where this goes. So notice it says here, hey, make a gradient that uses 3 colors and spreads across multiple objects. Right? So if we look at this, here's an example of that. Well, how did she do that? So if you make a shape, let's just kind of make a couple of different shapes. They're all colored white right now, which isn't helpful. Let's just go ahead and apply the default gradient to it, right? If I go in and I add, let's go ahead and add a color here to these, and let's add, I don't know, a third color swatch here. Make it really gross. Okay, that's actually not too bad. But anyway, the thing that you'll notice here, if I zoom in, is that the gradient is applying to each one of these along the same, across each object. So it starts yellow, ends with this orange. So what I want you to do instead is have all of those objects selected, make sure that they all have gradients applied to them, but then get out your gradient tool here. And with that tool, without coming over and clicking any of these particular handles, just want you to click and drag across. And notice when you do that, it then sets all of these to have the same gradient properties. So that's how you get that across. I think the videos on blends show you how to add a spine. So this is just simply a blend. If we go into outline mode, notice that it's just 2 shapes, and the spine has been replaced with a curved spine instead. And if you go under object to blend, you'll notice there's an option for that. So replace spine. So to do that, you have to have that other spine selected. So you'll just make your blend, and then you'll go ahead and make your curvy spine and select both, and you'll be able to do that. Over here on this artboard, notice, let's pop back over. So there's a blend between 2 closed shapes. Okay, we make a new artboard, and you're going to recolor the artwork. So here's the item on the left that the student made, has a variety of colors, and then she went in and chose edit colors, recolor artwork, and she did edit rather than assign. And notice that I'm asking that you need to have at least 10 different colors in here, and multiple objects for this to be interesting. So you're going to just make your artwork on one side, option copy it over, and then you'll apply the colors to this one. So you'll have just this one selected. Okay. And you don't need to make a cat. Make whatever you want. And then there's assign, which is having the colors. She option copied these again, and then went into edit colors, recolor artwork, but she chose assign that time. And then finally, I'm asking you to make an apple, and she did it with kind of this older tool, a gradient mesh tool. And gradient meshes were really cool in their day because that was a way of being able to create some form and shape. And in fact, if you go to Google and you just search gradient mesh portraits, you'll see that some people have made some outstanding portraits. And, you know, as the video that I have on gradient meshes talks about, you could come in and move these points around. But one thing I also want you to consider is, instead of doing a gradient mesh, maybe try a freeform gradient. I think that's going to be easier for this, because then you don't have to adjust all of these. See all these little handles? You have to adjust all of those guys just to make it less mechanical looking. And that's a pain in the neck, right? So why not? Get out get out the freeform gradient tool and have some fun with that. So that's this exercise. And you'll just, again, have them in different artboards. Follow the instructions for that. And turn it in. That should be fun. Let me know if you have any questions.